Welcome back. This is my Nitro Warhead, as you see there. Fury. This is a custom model from Hobby Warehouse. You can only get it there. Um, this is an Australian model because it's from Hobby Warehouse. As you see, I've done some modifications, such as the OS medium plug, the hump pack, and the 15 kilogram steering servo. I've got a pull start, as you see, the OS glow plug. I had to cut out around the rear as the pull start was getting caught, as I'll show you later. As you see, this is a four-wheel drive buggy. I have got the 15 kilo servo because the first one died out. I put the hump pack in there because it just started to die. As you see, I'm showing the pull start. It's got frayed a bit, so I had to cut out the body, as I was saying earlier. Every time I pulled it was hitting the engine like that. And as you see, when I pull this up, if you see around the rope, it's starting to fray out a bit. That was from it hitting the body, and it was tearing it. As you see, this thing has a small fuel tank, 75cc. Very good on fuel, this thing. As you see, it's a plastic pipe, but I want to go aluminium, and it's a metal manifold, but I want the aluminium manifold, better airflow. It's got a metal chassis, and it does have metal shock towers, metal shock caps, front and rear. As you see, that's the original servo, the E6001 that comes standard with this, but then I went and bought this Tornado one. Wouldn't have a clue what it is, but it's a 15 kilo servo. It helps a lot. I've got a hump pack in there. As you see, I was trying to get line to the engine. But the engine is a VX18. It's very good. Not much horsepower in it, but there's a lot of torque that I like. Very easy to tune. As I'm 13, it's pretty easy for me to go tune. The air filter isn't that dirty, and it is a four-wheel drive. I had problems with the drive shafts, as I'll show you later, and I had trouble with the steering servo. It pushed forward, so when I started up, the idle was like half throttle. It took off on me. As you'll see, I'm trying to not do a running video, but it's a 2-speed transmission, and I do want to put a drill start on it. I do want to, but I want to see how much longer I can get out of the pull starter. So the car cost $230. The starter kit cost $30. The 1 liter of fuel cost $20. I went through 3 OS medium plugs. That's $30. I have a hump pack in it that was $20 because I don't trust the double A's. And I got a $30 15 kilo front servo, so that came out to $360. And I have a $7, as you see the 7 over there. It costs $7 to get 2 new dog bones. I only broke one, but you need to buy them together. That I don't really care because then I get a spare one. This is the starter kit that it came with. Chrome wrench, glow plug you put in there. I've used that probably the most out of any tool. Got the one little one. This is the glow igniter. You can get the whole set for less than one glow igniter you would get in a normal shop that I absolutely love. We got the tuning screwdriver, as I use that one. It's a flathead, so that's like it's perfect size for my idle, high end and low end needle. As you can see, I have the Phillips head, but I use a impact, or I use one of those regular screwdriver electric ones, and I always use a handheld one to tighten down by hand so I don't strip anything, because I already stripped one thing when I was replacing the servo and I don't want to go back to that. That's the one I use. As I'm saying, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all. I'm not sponsored by Hobby Warehouse. I just have the nitro bottle there, but I don't feel comfortable sitting in my room with a nitro bottle, as you can smell all the fumes all the time. So I left it downstairs in my laundry. I do have the original remote. I don't have any time changing it. I do have a heat gun. This one's the one with the laser, so I don't have to put it on it. I can just point it away and it'll give me the temperature that I like way more than having to put it on the engine. It comes, see, I say, when you put it on the engine, it takes a lot longer than just coming up and just going, okay, good, top of the engine's good, let's go, instead of having to go on the side, the top, and all that. This is the stock controller. I'll show you. I'm going to put it down. Turned it on, put it down. I have the first one's your steering, and the second one's your throttle idle. And I don't know what the third one is. Haven't come to that one yet. The two top ones are reverse for steering and throttle. There's a button in between, and there's this other switch down there that I would not know. There is a on and off switch that I just turned off. It's a very high quality radio, and that's basically all I've done to this car so far. I've loved this car. As you see, that's the dog bone. I have none in it. I bent it, and because it was bending back and forth, it peeled open. I've done nice camera work right there. As I was showing you, I took out the middle so it doesn't go to the diff. It only goes to the front of the 2-speed transmission. It really helps it when you're driving around. It doesn't make the engine overwork because it's trying to spin the rear wheels, and there's no force there. As you see, they're nice tyres, they're knobby, they give a good amount of grip, but I want to get some slicks for on-road, because I do use this on-road a fair bit, because I don't usually go out. You can see by my air filter is quite clean. I don't really go out and bash, and most of my area has mulch over everything, or grass, so it doesn't really get dirty, and the knobby tyres are pretty good. But when I'm running out the front, the knobby tyres just wear out so quick, so I want slicks. As you see on here, this is the low end down the bottom. It's on like a sliding carb back and forth. It is the stock carburetor. I haven't done anything. As you see, there's the pulley from the servo. I took off the air filter. There's your idle screw underneath the air filter carb. You got the high end with the bronze sleeve right there. Some people said it was like 2.5 turns off for factory settings. I put it and it was just blowing everywhere. There's my OS plug, and it was just blowing oil and fuel everywhere. So probably running on less than 2 from the bottom. There's the plastic exhaust. You got the fuel lines running into high end. There's the sliding carb. You got your flywheel under there, and then you got the 2-speed transmission hooked up. And that's basically it with the engine, as far as I'm concerned. Then you got the plastic wheels. They're not metal or alloy. I just kept them plastic. They keep the wheels light, and they're nice and quick. The tyres do balloon a lot though when you're driving on road, especially because it's now 2-wheel drive. The front one just puff up everywhere. I try to go light on the throttle because it's going to burn a weird center hole in it when you're driving constantly. And that's just the overview of my car. As you see, it's a Hsp wing. We got the top chassis brace is all plastic. The rear wing has some nice metal bits, so when you crash it doesn't bend it sideways. It's held on by clips, so you can easily take it on and off. The one thing I don't like is the body contacts the fuel tank door, and I haven't cut it out. As you see, I have all my spares here. I got my spares for my Tamiya. This is my Nitro one. that's what I bent, the dog bone, and I got a spare glow plug here, so I really only burnt through 2 when breaking it in, and now I'm on 1 and I have another one spare. I lost it. I was wondering why it wasn't starting. Put the glow igniter in and it wasn't starting up. I took it off and realised the glow igniter was flat. Took it home and realised I left the copper washer. So I'm just going to have to reuse the copper washer that's in there on that OS plug to keep it running. But overall, this engine's a beautiful engine. I would highly recommend for anyone that can get one to get one. I know Kevin Talbot did one like this, but you can't have it. I have put the clips on the suspension so you can drop it. I haven't done any jumps with it yet because I don't want to bend the chassis just yet, because I just started. Don't want to be wrenching on stuff like that, as this is like, I'd never even taken a motor out of it, never taken the fuel tank. And that's it. Hope guys you'll see me in the next video.